Hello, my friends. Hello, everybody. It's Friday. Markets are closed. I did a video earlier for my advanced options course, since it was options expiration Friday. So anyway, there's a special topic I want to talk a little bit about because there's a huge event that's going to be happening in about 5 weeks or so, might be 6 weeks. Happens later in June, and it happens every year in June. And the potential impact to certain stock prices and so forth it's pretty significant, and it's just something that, being aware of might give you some ideas about some investing opportunities that you might look into or whatever. So anyway, Ken Krager from Black Swan Financial Advisors with my Black Swan Breakthroughs podcast. This video and all other videos are for educational purposes only. It's my website, which should be live around the end of June. My YouTube channel, please subscribe, and if you want to send me an email, that would be awesome. So anyway, this is kind of an interesting thing happens every single year, and it happens on the fourth Friday in June every single year. And it has a really significant impact to the stock market. In fact, it's always the biggest trading day of the year, the most volume of trading on the stock market, upwards of $11 trillion of funds and indexes and everything is going to be shifted around on, this year it's June 23rd. On that day, and especially over the next few days after that. But what happens on that day is pretty significant, and most people might not realize that that's what happens. But the market is driven or tracked or ranked or whatever you want to call it by these indexes. And so, you've heard of the S&P 500, you've heard of the Dow Jones Industrial Index, and most of you hopefully have heard of the Russell indexes. Let me just all right, maybe you can see me a little bit better, not just my chin. So the Russell indexes is actually it holds 3,000 U.S. stocks, and there's the Russell 1000, the Russell 2000, the Russell 3000. Other companies or organizations create indexes, other ETFs, exchange-traded funds off of the Russell indexes. But they actually contain the Russell indexes contain about 80 to 85% of all stocks that are traded in the United States. So it's a huge volume and quantity, and it represents a huge accumulation of wealth. More than $10 trillion is currently allocated to these indexes and funds. So that gives you an idea. It's a huge amount of money. So anyway, what happens on the fourth Friday of every June is that index has to be rebalanced, and companies that are not doing so well, they get ranked and they'll drop off of the index. And so on June 23rd, there's going to be, maybe as many as 200 companies that are going to get chopped out of the index. They're going to be deleted. And it's common sense. If you're a company and you're on an index and you're in an ETF, that's supportive of your stock price. If you get removed from an index or an ETF, then that's going to have a negative impact. That probably is going to have a negative impact on your company's stock price. So anyway, the end of April, the Russell came out with their initial ranked list. I've been trying to find if I could find it anywhere, and I haven't been able to find the actual list yet. I mean, some people have it. I mean, $10 trillion is a lot of money, and to be caught flat-footed on the 23rd of June, could be devastating for these funds and indexes and hedge funds and stuff. So I know that the list is out there, but I haven't been able to find it. If anybody can find it, I'd appreciate if you'd send me an email. But so conversely, I mean, we talked about what might happen to a company that gets removed from the index. But what about companies that get added to the index? That would be, that would be good for those companies. That would provide a boost probably to their stock price. So for example, when ROKU got added to the Russell, that year ROKU went up a huge amount, okay? So, if it just might be a place for you to look for some investment ideas, both on the upside and on the downside. And like I said, if you're trading options, especially, selling puts to get into a position, or maybe buying puts if you think something is going to go down, or buying calls on something that you think might go up, you might be able to make use these different strategies to take advantage of ideas that you might have. So I would just encourage you to kind of understand what's going on. This reshuffling of $10 trillion of money means that there's going to be huge losers and huge winners. And if I can't get my hands on a list before the 23rd of June, on the 23rd of June, the new list you'll be able to get the list of companies that are added and companies that are deleted. And that just might be a good place for you to look at investment ideas. So I'm always trying to look for investment ideas and where I might be able to get them. And this might be a good source. And so this happens every June, and it's quite a catalyst. So something to think about. So thank you for joining. This was a pretty quick little little market update based on something that's going to be happening in a few weeks. Thank you for joining my podcast. Hope it was valuable information. This video and all other videos are for educational purposes only. And talk to you next week. I usually do at least one a week.